Hey guys, what's up? So this video is not going to be spoiler free and I'm going to be talking about the raid tier as well as showing footage of it. My first impressions is that this raid tier is probably going to be the best raid tier that we have ever had added into the game, and that's from a combination of factors ranging from the mechanics, which are just zany, out of this world crazy things that I never really expected to see, all the way to the amazing music tracks, which are unique for each of the fights, all the way to the backgrounds and the stages, and then the storyline is actually really good. I know a lot of people skip it, but I really actually enjoyed it. I think that it's really tough for someone to say, hey, is there anything about Solution 9 that you don't like? It was really hard for me to think, what would I not like about Solution 9? But we're going to talk about that later. Please add a market board into Solution 9. Like, I seriously want to have no reason to leave that city. But other things, like, all of it is voice acted. Like, every single boss has a voice actor talking smack to you. I almost said talking S, but I'm trying to curse word less. And the fact that there's smack talking you with actual voice acted voice lines adds so much immersion to the game. Like, wow. Especially the announcement. Like, ooh, even I felt that one. Oh, look, they died. Is it over already? Where like you limit break and then he like is just like, oh, that's some powerful healing, or that's some powerful magic. I wonder if it's gonna do anything or something like that. Like, it's just like the amount of smack being talked is just ridiculous. And then like the fact that like the second boss literally has a southern accent and she's just like, aren't you gonna be my little queen bee, or like what is the term that she says? Aren't you gonna be like my little loyal bee or something like that? I laughed my ass off more during that fight. Like, I died so much. Like, guys, like, I'm just gonna be blunt. I die a lot during raids. Shocking. I know, a content creator saying that they're dying, right? I mean, talk to anyone, like, candidly, and they'll say that they die a lot. That's a part of progression. That's a part of learning. You die. But I was laughing my ass off so much during the different raids that I was dying because I couldn't stop laughing. Like, I think it's just like when she was like, when the like Southern Belle Bee was like talking her smack, I had like tears rolling down my face because the announcer was just like talking shit as people got owned and stuff. It's just like, honest to God, like, I'm gonna be a little blunt, but we're also gonna leave the topic real quick. My mom is literally right now, as I'm recording this right now, in for surgery right now, and hopefully everyone give energy for like the cancer to not spread. But it was such a good raid tier, with such good lines, such good music and everything, that even I find it hard to not laugh right now. And given everything that is going on right now, considering the fact that this was not only able to get me immersed into it, to actually like do it and want to engage in it, but to actually have me laughing to the point where I have tears rolling down my face. Like, it's just such a good tier. And this is before we even talk about some of the specific mechanics. Like, I have been truly blown away by the quality of this raid. Like, how to say it in the nicest way possible. I did enjoy P1, P2, and P3S. Like, P3S, last expansion, because last expansion, I know a lot of people don't follow me, like, or are new to the channel. I honestly leveled everything up in like 2.5 weeks last expansion in Endwalker 2. Like, me leveling all the jobs is not a new thing. But P3S, Phoenix was like my like bright orange personal marker for benchmark for, do I feel comfortable enough with that class? And that's one of the reasons why I was able to dungeon grind so quick, was because I already had a level of comfort with all of them. And so performing an AoE rotation and single target rotation on bosses in order to do optimal DPS to get through really wasn't that hard, because I already was familiar. Minus Monk, because Monk obviously has had changes. Black Mage was made honestly a little too simple. Like, it felt we're not talking about Black Mage. I'll get spicy comments. I know. We're not talking about Black Mage. We're not talking about Bruno. No. How many people are even going to know that reference? But I digress. We don't talk about Bruno here. But, yeah, I I think that sorry, Endwalker's first raid series, while I did enjoy it, it has absolutely jack squat diddly nothing on this. Like P1, P2, and P3, just it ain't shit. Now P4S, I loved P4S. Like it's just like we had like the vampire dude and everything, but again, he didn't have voice lines really. Like it's just like, and then they had to correct the one lyric about like wild freaks and be like, oh, it's not wild freaks, and it's just like, come on, like for me it will always be wild freaks. But I think inarguably it makes the last tiers look so bad, and it's just like I do have, and I think that it may even be intentional from the developers. Like, come on, it's probably intentional. But P8S, like Hephaestus, like I 100% see the correlation between his character and then like the bomb guy. Like, what are we calling this, A3, or are we calling it AAC? Like, I don't want to type the extra characters. Like, I want one character abbreviation for the floors or matches free. But that was probably the least favorite thing, because it's not because that was hard. It was because no one liked doing snakes properly, and I had myself pulling out my hair in PF. But P8S did have voice lines, which was obviously good. But kind of like cycling back further to like the mechanics, I felt like even in the normal mode that there were mechanics that even I found challenging, like generally speaking, like a little bit better, which I think is a good thing. And here's one thing, because there has been already way too much early community perception on some of this stuff. Like, one thing about raiding is you do fail a lot. Like, when you're going into raid, you expect to die. That should be an expectation, not that you just cruise through the content. Like, it's like, so a lot of people are so worried about like perfection. Like, as someone who, like, I'll say it, as the dumb B who did Uwu and then T and started DSR before fiance cheated, fuck my life. But in Party Finder, I didn't have a static for any of those. You die. It's expected. You are going to basically fail your way to success, and it's just like seeing another mechanic or just getting a little bit more comfortable with the previous stuff is a part of like the raid experience. No one, not a single fucking person, not one that you talk to that's going to be candid with you about raiding, tells you that they are somehow born with the knowledge of the raid just injected into their skull. That's not how it works. It's just like, even if we look at some of the best Black Mage players, don't mention Black Mage, I'm not talking about Bruno, but some of the best Black Mage players that historically have very much enjoyed Black Mage, although they did not learn how to do all that optimization or the 200-page like textbook of like Black Mage and all the optimizations just by being born with it. It was through them just practicing with it, through reading, researching, and getting comfortable with it. And I think that this is something that, like, do I think that the normal raids are too hard? No. My answer is no. People are going to be like, just say it. No, they're not too hard. I think that people are whining a lot, because I have literally passed all the raids on like literally my first pulls. And I'm not even joking. And like, that's not because I'm smart. Like, I literally went in on Warrior and I would use Bloodwetting and soak mechanics, and I'd home gang some mechanics. So don't think this is me saying, oh, I'm so much smarter than anyone, because anyone who says that honestly is fucking cringe. It's like, no, girl, like, calm down. Calm down, Sookie. Oh god, I missed True Blood. But yeah. I think that the mechanics are good. I think they're fair. I think that they're chaotic. It's just like the hearts mechanic for like the second one even is iconic. And remember, this is the second floor of the first raid tier in brand new expansion. Like, oh my god, it's so good. I loved the like breaking floor on the first one. Like, oh my god, pretty much everything about the fourth one was amazing. Just the gun that like gets taken out, and like the floor just getting lasered into shit. Like, I genuinely, truly am excited for the Savage Raid tier, which is, if you talk to me, okay, real talk, if you talked to me like 5 hours ago, I would have told you with everything going on in my real life, I don't think that I'm even going to touch this raid tier. I'm going to probably just focus on the website, which I still need to work on. I might just very casually do it with my static, and raid like 4 or how many hours a week is it? I think it's like 7, 8, something like that, and just kind of whatever it. But I actually have enjoyed the normal raids so much. I have enjoyed the theming, the music, the voice lines, the everything so much that I can tell you that I am actually highly motivated to PF it. And then people are going to be like, well, what are you going to PF it on? I'm still deciding, but I'm thinking it is going to be Warrior, or it is going to be one of the supportive casters, Red Mage or Summoner. And I know people are like, but Summoner is deleted. Summoner is not deleted. But I honestly do really like Red Mage, like a lot. So, Warrior, Scholar, Sage. I don't think White Mage. Maybe White Mage. Do we talk about the other Bruno, Astro? not Astro. No, thank you. Not right now. Yeah, we're going to have to see. I still haven't decided. I have 2 weeks, obviously, to think about, and asking me to pinpoint exactly what I'm going to take in is hard right now, but right now, we'll decide later. But I'm definitely looking at PFing this, because I absolutely love this raid tier. This is one where if you have me, where push comes to shove, I will truly regret not partaking in this raid tier. And so I'm going to be actively participating. This is amazing. This is awesome, and I think this is genuinely the best raid tier that we will ever have in Final Fantasy XIV based on what we've seen so far. I am actually so hyped. Like people are going to be like, okay, well, what's your benchmark of like the best Savage raid tier that we've had so far? E8S. E12S was also baller, but E8S was really the raid that just made me fall so much deeper in love with like raiding. Like E8S was probably my benchmark, and from what I can tell from the normal mode of AAC4 or M4, whatever we're calling it, this is fucking lit. Like, this is so fucking good, and I will regret not participating, and so I'm gonna take part.